Hi guys, well, welcome to the channel. In this video, I want to talk about the review of Boruto chapter 46. If you're listening to this video, please subscribe to the channel and click the like button. And let's continue with the video. So I'll be talking about two major things that happened in this chapter. The first one being Amado dashing out information about the Otsutsukis and what they are about, and the second one being Kashin Koji versus Jigen, or Ishiki Otsutsuki. Now, I'll be talking about these two intermittently throughout the video. So let's start. The chapter starts with Kashin Koji. Start with Kashin Koji versus Jiraiya, as we see on the very first page. There's Kashin Koji versus Jiraiya, and they are busy fighting, and Okage Naruto and in Shikamaru Sasuke are watching through the video conferencing, which was set up in the previous chapter. And as they're watching, there will be comments around what is happening, and Koji basically says that he was programmed to kill Jigen, and Jigen is talking about asking and trying to find out why is this the case, and Kashin Koji says that he basically says that he's a shinobi, and is programmed to kill. And Jigen is like, what kind of rubbish is that? Well, the fight gets on, and you can see that Jigen is really fighting with Kashin Koji, and Kashin Koji trying some fire style jutsu on Jigen, and Jigen can just easily absorb those fire style. And I think Kashin Koji is doing surprisingly well against Jigen. I actually didn't expect him to do this well, but looking at his fighting style, you can sort of see that this style of fighting is similar to that of Jiraiya, and I did predict in the previous videos that indeed Kashin Koji might be Jiraiya, or yeah, it's a prediction actually, if I may put it that way, that Kashin Koji it might be Jiraiya. I can see that the toad oil bonds that were sent to Kashin Koji, the style of fighting, it's exactly the same as what Jiraiya would do. Is Jiraiya style, in to put it in simple words, and those sneak attacks and similar ways, similar style of fighting. When you've seen Jiraiya fight Pain, and his Kashin Koji is doing exactly the same here, where we see the toad oil combined with the fire style jutsu. And Naruto also recognized that this fighting style, he's like surprised. It's almost, then he's like, he's surprised, and my guess is that he's thinking, oh, this is it. This could be Jiraiya, and that fighting style is exactly Jiraiya's fighting style. And that's what is exciting to see in this chapter, and it's some of the things which I do think that confirms the theories that we've been having, and the theories that we've been talking about, that there's a strong possibility that the masked guy is Jiraiya. And I do know that this guy was created by Amado, and I do think that he was created from the remains of Jiraiya, where he was revived after the battle between Pain and himself. He was revived, and now he's probably an android, or what you call like a machine that was created from Jiraiya. So, and the fight goes on, and surprisingly, Kashin Koji is doing very, very well against Jigen. And I do think that maybe the biggest reason why this guy is doing surprisingly very well is because Jigen was weakened in a fight against Uchiha Sasuke and Uzumaki Naruto. And we see Jigen trying to use all his technique, and still Kashin Koji seems to have the upper hand. And now Jigen gets serious, and as he's trying to get serious, on the other side, Amado is busy lashing out information about the arrival of Otsutsuki Ishiki and Otsutsuki Kaguya, that they came to the planet long ago and they came together. And everybody is just surprised around the room. What the hell is happening here? Kaguya is Ishiki's partner, and this is huge. It's something that nobody knew, and this is like new intel, new information, a confirmation of what a lot of people have been thinking about, and it's very exciting to see, and everybody's surprises, and you know, I sort of also like the way the writers are doing in this chapter, because they're busy lashing out information in detail, in a slowly, and I think this is particularly exciting, because this is one of the biggest intel that needs to be delivered, and it has to be done right, because this is something that's major. It's a major theme. I can call it a theme or of the story, and now they're doing it very well, just to give up information which everybody's been waiting for and everybody's excited to see, and that's what makes this chapter to be more exciting. And we've also learned that Ishiki was caught off guard by Kaguya, and Kaguya almost killed Ishiki, and Ishiki was able to do his jutsu, where he made himself smaller and found the nearest human around that situation. So basically what's happening here is that Kaguya, who was Otsutsuki Ishiki's partner, betrayed, turned against Ishiki. For what reasons, we don't know at the moment, and it looks like and Kaguya was able to take out Ishiki, and which caught Ishiki off guard, and he was almost destroyed. His body was destroyed, but he was able to turn himself into a small being, like the current technique that we know of, shrinking himself into a nano size. And from that, he was able to then infiltrate Jigen's body, who was just standing by near the fight between Ishiki and Otsutsuki Kaguya, or maybe near the betrayal, because it was more like an off-guard sort of thing, where Ishiki was caught off guard and nearly died. And the other thing that is being lashed out here is that the Karma Seal, yes, the Karma Seal that we've been talking about, it is true now that the Karma Seal is a way in which the Otsutsukis would revive themselves. But in this case, Ishiki wasn't even strong enough to do the Karma Seal against Jigen. The mark only appeared after he infiltrated Jigen's body through the ear, and this is what is exciting to see. And Kodashi is busy lashing out this info, and Uchiha Sasuke is standing by and asking questions around it, and confirming what he knows and whether it matches with what Amada is saying. Throughout the time, we'll see Uchiha Sasuke listening very keenly and asking questions, trying to understand the entire info around the Karma Seal, which is also very exciting to see, because we truly wanted to understand how this Karma Seal is about. And we also got intel about the Karma Seal being a data info or something, a data, more like a, I don't know, more like a SIM card, or more like a memory, a data, a memory card, kind of like a data, or USB kind of a data that is implanted into a human body. And while it is implanted in that body, it will eventually develop in that body and take over that body. And this is the intel that we are getting from Amada as it goes on. And now this is something that something that's new, and it's something that we didn't know about the Karma Seal. And this this is like similar to Orochimaru's curse mark, and we've seen Orochimaru being revived in Naruto Shippuden. Sasuke revived Orochimaru so that Orochimaru can summon the 5 previous Kages. Actually, the 4 previous Kages instead of the 5, and we've seen. I think this is shouldn't come as a surprise, but it's just that it's a different settings. It's a different setting, and in how the Otsutsuki do it, and Orochimaru has done it and was able to be revived as well. And now here they call it a compressed Otsutsuki backup file, and it's more like backup file. It's more like it's explained in an electronic format, or in a computerized format, which is different from Orochimaru's case mark. But I do think that there are similarities around this case mark and the Karma seal that we see, but it's just that the revival is sort of different, because with the Karma seal, when the revival occurs, the Otsutsuki will eventually take over the body of the person possessed, or the person implanted with the Karma seal, and a curse mark would then the person who has the curse mark would not die in this case. I haven't seen someone dying from the curse mark, but Orochimaru was able to be extracted from that curse mark, whereas it's like Orochimaru left a part of his clone, or part of himself in that person, and with enough chakra, you can be able to extract Orochimaru out of the person whom he gave the curse mark. Whereas in the Karma seal, it just takes over the body of the vessel, or they call the person who's been implanted with the Karma seal vessel. So it just takes over the body. And this is a surprise to everyone, and Naruto is surprised that this is the case, and meaning that meaning that Otsutsuki Momoshiki is eventually going to be revived in Boruto. And I just don't know the situation about Kawaki, but I think according to the intel that we've been given here, is that Kawaki will be the suitable vessel for Ishiki Otsutsuki, because Jigen's body cannot handle the power of Ishiki Otsutsuki, and I think this is a good link going to the future, and from what we've seen in the first episode, and this is beginning to explain why was the village destroyed, and I think we are getting there, and this is a setup which will eventually allow Ishiki Otsutsuki to be reborn in Kawaki's body, and that's the I think that's the reality that's going to happen, and that's this story is just a proper setup for that, and there's no doubt about it. That's what I think, and that's where this is going. And I just don't know if Sasuke and Naruto will be able to find, or somebody will be able to find a way to remove the Karma seal. And Amada also doesn't know how to remove the Karma seal. And we can see that Amada doesn't know how to get rid of the Karma seal, and this is beginning to be a problem for everyone in that room. And Boruto is also surprised as well that this is the info and the intel around the Karma seal. And now moving back to Jigen versus Kashin Koji, we see Jigen releasing his form, or Ishiki releasing his form, Otsutsuki form, meaning that it's more serious now in this battle. And Kashin Koji doing summoning the dark swamp, more like the toad's belly, which makes the entire place unstable. And now this fight is it's going on, and I can see like Jigen has improved in this fight, catching Koji around, but Koji is surprisingly still doing very well, and catching Koji was able to summon the fire from the fire mountain, which cannot be absorbed using the Kama seal, and this is where Jigen gets banned, and not so sure whether he's gonna die or not from this point. And on the other side, Amada says that he wants to give out info about how you can kill an Otsutsuki, because it seems like these guys have a way to transcend beyond death. And how do you kill someone like that if in the verge of dying somebody is able to find a new vessel and it gets reborn in another body? How do they die? How can you kill such a person? And this is where the chapter ended. Amado is planning to teach all of them how to kill an Otsutsuki, and I think this will be exciting to see, and it will be an exciting chapter. And I do think this chapter was one of the most exciting chapters that I've read in a while, and the information that was given here was very important for the future, for future settings, for uncovering how the Otsutsukis live and how they evolve and how do they transcend beyond death. And it's some of the most exciting things about reading the Boruto manga. And if you're still on the video, please subscribe and hit the like button, and I'll see you next time.